Welcome to the O.B.S. Financial Instructional Video Series. Today we're going to discuss the client registration form and how to register and upload your documents online. My name is Stacy Bartel, founder and president of O.B.S. Financial Services. To get started, let's take you right to the internet. So pick up a browser, any browser that you like. We're going to go, I'm just going to refresh this here. So we're going to go to obstax.com. Type that in, it'll redirect you to obsfinancials.com where you'll hit on our landing page. From here, you'll see we have information on our services, location, hours, tax registration, upload center, COVID-19 news, tax tips, careers, and pricing outreach center. But today we're going to be looking at the tax registration and upload center. When we click on there, you're going to come down and you'll see that on the front page, we have our online client registration forms. We have a tax information upload center. We have Excel tools by O.B.S. Financial, which is worksheets that'll help you organize and get together your medical expenses, charitable donations, tools for trades, use of home expenses and business expenses, rental expenses, that sort of thing. We also have some other PDF registration forms that haven't yet been updated. For deceased persons, family status changes, foreign property registration, U.S. persons forms, moving information. We are looking at making them all digital, just we're not at that stage yet. You'll also see here that we have some how-to videos, which is what you're watching right now, and some how-to guides, print-offs that help you walk through some of the easier stuff. So to get started, what we're going to do is we're going to register as a family. So we're just going to click on the link here where it says click to fill out for the family registration form. That's going to take us to our Power Form DocuSign page. And in here, we're going to just start filling out our basic information. So we'll get our name in there. And our email address. Click on Begin Signing. Oh, I had a space in there. That's why it didn't work. Click on Begin Signing, and away you go. From here, we're going to have a couple of quick decisions we have to make. We're going to decide whether we're going to allow access or not to where we're going to be signing the documents. So we're going to click Allow Access. We're going to agree to use the electronic service and records. If you want to read it, you can go through the link here, but I've already read it, so we're going to take a look at it, and I'm going to click Continue. And here's our registration form. So the very first section, we have a couple of questions. The first one, you'll see that it automatically puts today's date in. But the next question that we have is, which office would you like to use? Now, for most of you, you use our Oakbank office, but we do also have a new office in St. Adolphe, or Winnipeg South office. And because we're doing things electronically, we also have online. So here we're just going to select Oakbank. Next question is, how would you like to review your return when it's completed? Well, we have a number of options. We can do web meetings. We can send you a video review of your tax return. We can schedule a phone review. We can send you an email just informing you of the result of your tax returns. We can do a pickup with no review, or we can do an in-person short meeting just to go over your tax return. In this case, we're going to schedule a web meeting. Now we're filling out the form, and we're going to upload our tax documents electronically. So when we're finished, I don't need a paper copy of the return. First of all, I am going to tell them that I need to tell everybody that I'm attaching all my documents to the form. And then how would I like a copy of my tax return returned back to me? I'm just going to take a PDF copy by secure email. How do I want to sign the document? So I don't want to run down to the office. So again, I'm going to use the electronic signature that'll sign my tax documents that Revenue Canada will now allow. All right, now we know how we're going to deal with each other this year. So tell us a little bit about yourself. So we want to get your information in here. Just click on the box, type it, you can tab over. What you'll see right now is above where it's to ask for the social insurance number, it's telling you the format that we would prefer you to enter it into. So in this case, we're going to put your social insurance number in, which is 3 numbers, dash, 3 numbers, dash, 3 numbers. Then we're going to go to your phone number. You'll see it's the same thing. So we're going to put in the phone number, 204-444-5678. And the next place is the date of birth. Now, you can pick the calendar to find it, but if you take a look above in the yellow again, it tells you the format that we need. So you can enter in 1965, 01, 01. I think that's roughly when the coyote was born. And his email address again is the coyote at obstax.com. His address is 664 Desert Street, here in Oakbank, Manitoba, and the postcode is ROE1J0. Now, Desert Street is out in a rural area and hasn't gone through the civic addressing changes. So it actually, that's not the mailing address. So we're asked, is this the same as your mailing address? We're going to click on that and we're going to say, no, it's not. When we do that, you'll see 3 more fields pop up here. So we're going to ask for the box number. It also asks for a group or a rural route number. In this case, we don't have, so we're just going to put not applicable and not applicable. For the marital status, in case anybody didn't know, the coyote is married, but we do have some choices here. The choices are married, and then we have 3 live with. So if you live with a significant other, there's typically 3 situations that the Canada Revenue Agency uses to determine your marital status. The first one is if you've lived with someone over a year, you are considered common law. If you've lived with someone over a year or less than a year, but there's also a child in the house, you are considered common law as of day 1. And if you've lived with someone for less than a year with no children, you are considered whatever your previous marital status was. So please do not select that. Select whether you were previously widowed, divorced, separate, or always been single. In this case, like I said, we are married. Now, did you get married last year? Was there a change last year with your marital status? In this case, no. And you'll see when you click no, you're able to go to the next box. If you select yes, you'll get something on date of change because we do need to know when that happened. The next section is in direct deposit. This is new to our form this year. We want to make sure people are enrolling in direct deposit, especially with the COVID-19 virus going on here in 2020. We want to make sure people get their checks as soon as possible. So we're going to click, now we've never done it before, so we're going to go, please add or update. If I'm not sure what bank account I've been using, I'm just going to click update and we'll make sure that it's correct. Now we're going to take a look at our online apps. Normally, if you go to your bank account, there'll be a details position or a details tab on your app that you can click on to get you the bank account information, or you can get a void check that you can look at it. Or if you have a void check, basically the way the checks work is the first 3 or 4 digits of the check will match the check number up in the top right-hand corner of the check. Then you'll have 5 digits, that will be your branch number. You'll have 3 digits, that is the bank number. And then the account number, which can be anywhere from 4 or 5 digits right up to 12 digits. Right? So once we have that entered in, we will receive that at O.B.S. We will enter it in and we'll make sure we get you set up on direct deposit. The next section is about your spouse. So we're going to go through and put your spouse's name. Actually, first of all, if you have a spouse, do they have income? If you click yes, you have the option to put in, we do need to know how much they have. So we do need to put what their income is. If we're going to do their tax return, just click on no, because we'll be filling that out and completing it at the same time. So in this case, Wiley Coyote, right? Wiley's wife, his name is Debbie, right? Coyote. And her social insurance number, same thing. We want to make sure we have the right format. And cell phone number, well, in this case, Debbie uses our O.B.S. Winnipeg cell phone number at 204-946-6678. Her date of birth, she's a little bit younger than the Coyote, so we're going to go 1970-0101. Again, if you look at the format, we can make sure that we get that in. You'll see here there's an error because I don't have a slash in between the month and the day. So once I correct that, I can move over. And the email address is debbie@obstax.com. Now, Debbie, does she have online banking, right? Again, we have the same choices. We can add or update it. We can use already enrolled because Debbie actually is a little bit more progressive and she's already enrolled. enrolled. However, if you do like snail mail, you like to see that physical check, you can always click no, I like snail mail, and we'll make sure that there's no direct deposit information entered in on your return. So she's already enrolled. From there, now we're going to ask about the kids. So we have bunny rabbit, coyote, right? That is the son. If you click on the drop-down box, you can tab or arrow, but in here, right? Bunny rabbit is the son. Date of birth, 2001. Again, 0101. Make sure you use your slashes. Social insurance number. Well, the bunny rabbit doesn't have a social insurance number, so we're just going to enter in not applicable. The phone number, the bunny rabbit does have a cell phone number, so we're going to put that in there, 204-444-6678. And school status. So bunny rabbit right now is 19 years of age, is finished grade school, not going into post-secondary school, so he's working. Now, doesn't necessarily mean that he has to file a tax return, but we are going to ask for the net income, and at that point in time, we will look at it. If you're going to get your children to file income tax returns, we do ask that they file out their own form, not to go on with their mom and dad's form. But as far as this goes, their income is lower. He only worked and made $4,000 last year, so we're going to put that in, right? As for that, we don't have any other children, so we're just going to leave that there and go on to all the questions. So we have a number of questions. I'm going to just take the opportunity to explain a couple of them here to everybody because we always get asked at the front counter. The first one is, did you sell any of the following last year? So if you click on the drop-down box, this is talking about a home, right? Did you sell your house? Did you sell a cottage, vacation property, U.S. or foreign home with a trailer, land, or none of the above, right? Basically, if you've sold anything, we want to know. We want to determine what is the best case scenario for what residence you want to treat as your primary residence. Your home that you live in most of the time may not necessarily be the best choice. If you sell a cottage and there's some huge capital gains, the gains may have been higher than your home, and we may want to select that. So let us know what you sold, and then we can reach out to you from there to find out. Are you a Canadian citizen? This is just used for determining rights to vote for voter registration. So we're just going to put yes or no. So in this case, both of us are Canadian citizens. Now, do we want the Canada Revenue Agency to get information? Well, what information gets shared? In the case of upcoming elections, if you select yes here, the Canada Revenue Agency will share your name, address, date of birth, and citizenship with Elections Canada in order to register you for vote. They don't share financial information or anything else. There's only those four things that get shared. So I want to vote. I like to vote. I want to make sure I exercise my rights. I'm going to select both of us so we're at least registered. The next one is, are you a U.S. citizen or person? If so, that creates a whole other mess of tax implications. Let us know and we can advise you on it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to do any of the work for you. In this case, we're going to answer no. Do you own foreign property valued over $100,000? Now, this is another one that's subject to some huge fines. Foreign property consists of houses, land, buildings, but it also consists of cash in bank accounts, investments, and shares in foreign corporations. If the value of all of those combined at any time throughout the year exceed $100,000 Canadian on your cost, it has to be reported to Revenue Canada, or you could be subject to fines in the thousands of dollars. If you're unsure, check with your financial advisor, but in this case, that's not our situation. We're going to click no. The next one here is, do you or yourself receive foster child tax-free payments? Not that we report on your tax return, but it does have effect on the climate action incentive. In this case, no, we don't have it. The CRA registration info is complete. Now, a little bit of information about your family. Do you or any of your children, or do your children suffer from ADHD, ADD, or other disability? Either yes or no. If you select yes, it's going to ask what their name is, right? And whether a disability tax certificate has been approved, denied, or if you don't know about it, tick on what is that. In this case, we're going to say that it's Bunny right? Right. Bunny has a disability and we don't know what a DTC is. Now my tax advisor can talk to me about it. Were there any fees paid towards fitness programs or sporting arts? In Manitoba, the Manitoba government still allows that as a deduction. It's not allowed federally, and most other provinces have gotten away with it. However, in Manitoba, we still have it, so I'm going to tick yes because we're going to upload some of those documents. In regards to health, do you have a healthcare plan? We're not talking about your provincial healthcare plan. We're talking about secondary plans, mostly through work, or maybe you pay for them separately. What most people don't understand is the amount of money that gets deducted off of your paycheck is tax deductible. So both my wife and I have plans. So we're going to put that in there. And now it's going to ask, if so, who's paying? Well, in this case, you know what? My company pays for mine. However, my wife pays for her. So it's deducted off of my spouse's check. And since it's been deducted from a check, we'd like to get copies of your last pay stubs of the year. In case it's not in your T4, we want to see how much you have actually paid for it. Next one is, have you or your family spent more than $300 in medical expenses that were not covered? Medical expenses, prescription drugs, dental, vision, hearing aids, massage, chiropractor, physiotherapy, that sort of thing, orthotics, anything that the doctor has referred you to take. If it's not covered by your healthcare plan 100%, you're able to claim the difference. In this case, yes, we did also have medical expenses. Now, the next questions are, do you or a family member suffer from a long-term impairment that's expected to last a period of 12 months or more? No, we're both healthy, but if you're unsure, always select yes and we will talk about it. Did you or a family member assist in providing care to an extended family member? If we click on that box, who all is in there? Well, you know what? In our case, the coyote actually looks after his uncle. Does anybody know the uncle's name? Yeah, it's actually Ralph the dog. Ralph's had a couple of too many injuries out on the sheep farm, and now he's got some issues, and the coyote has to take care of him. Next thing we're going to look at is the rent. So rent or own. So with your housing, do you rent or own your house? You'll notice if it says rent, it'll ask us how much, whether it's paid monthly or annually, and who is claiming the rent. In Manitoba, only one person per residence is entitled to claim the rental credit. So if you are with a roommate, we need to understand who is claiming. If you double claim, you will always get billed back. So here, you're either claiming or your roommate's claiming. At the end of the day, it's a difference of $700 in your tax return. You guys can split it, do whatever you want to do, right? If you don't rent and you own, you'll see the two more text fields open up. We want to know, did you purchase your home last year? Yes or no, right? And did you own money under the home buyer's plan? So in other words, did you pull money out of an RSP at any time to purchase your first home? And are you required any payments? So no, myself, my spouse, or both of us. So just let us know. In this case, the answer is no. Did you move last year? Yes, we did move. Was it over 40 kilometers? We're going to go, yes, it was, but I paid for the move myself. Now, if work paid for the move, we want to know. If you were fully reimbursed, we want to know. Or if you were only partially reimbursed, we want to know, right? Now, this is only if it was more than 40 kilometers. In this case, it wasn't more than 40 kilometers, so I'm just going to select no. Under education, did you or your children attend any school last year? Yes or no. If I will get that fixed, there should be not applicable on there as well, but in this case, we're going to select no. And did you pay back any student loans last year? The answer is no. Under occupation, are you a volunteer firefighter or search and rescue person? No, we're not. Are you an owner? Are you self-employed? Right? So you're a business owner or self-employed? No. Do you have employment expenses that you're able to deduct? Now, in order to deduct any employment expenses, we always get asked this a lot. Your employer has to sign off a conditions of employment. It's called the T2200. If your employer is not willing to sign one off, you cannot claim any work expenses. So that's the easiest way to find out. Or if they've given you a T2200, we can select yes, and in this case, we have. Are you a truck driver and eligible to claim meals or lodging? In this case, no. Are you a tradesperson or enrolled in an apprenticeship or a mechanical program? There are tools that those people are allowed to deduct if you're in an apprenticeship program, if you're a mechanic or an apprentice. So answer the question, yes or no. If you say yes, myself, then the next question is, did you spend more than $1,200 on tools? If you did not spend more than $1,200 on tools, you're not able to deduct them. So that's just an easy way to let you know the first $1,200 you're on your own. So I'm saying no, there's no claim to worry about. And then last but not least, did you own any rental property? Well, that's the form. As you can see, relatively quick and easy to do. If there's anything else you'd like us to know, you can click on select, hit yes, and just put on there, right? I have lost my work T4. That being the case, we know that there's something missing, or in here you can put on there, right? I am missing one T4 and waiting for it. This way we can kind of get the stuff ready to go when it comes in, then we can bring you back into the queue, see if we can get it all finished up, right? The next section on here is to add attachments. Because we set up here that you were attaching to the form, you have to click on here to add attachments. Go back up here. If I said, no, we're going to drop them off at the office, by the time you got through the form, you say, you know what, I'd like to, you'll see there's no paperclip there. In order to attach, you must have selected attach in box 4 at the top of the form. So we're going to scroll back up, go back into attach the form, come back down, and we're going to click attach. Now, when we click attach, we're going to get a little box to upload a file. You would have had, if you're dealing with this on the computer, you would have to have scanned and downloaded or taken pictures and put them on your computer in order to get it. If it's from your phone, you'll actually have the opportunity to take pictures of it at that time. However, in this case, we're going to upload a file. So I'm going to click on upload, and now it's going to bring us into where I have our scans. So I'm going to select, right, this scan here. I'm going to upload it. Then I'm going to upload another one. So I'm going to upload this one here. Now you'll notice I don't have any of these named. If you want to name them beforehand, that makes it a little bit easier, right? And you'll see the thing is still spinning. So this first scan is 13 pages. The next one is 28 pages. So it's pretty big documents. That's pretty much everything that we've got. I'm going to select done. Okay. I'm not going to scroll down anymore because it does show some information. So we're going to leave it there. At this point in time, we're going to go confirm. You're going to tick on the box here. It says, I confirm that the above information is correct and that you have permission to provide all the information on behalf of your family. You're going to click here to sign. When you click to sign, you're going to have a couple of choices. You can either use the preview where it has your name just kind of written down in your initials. If you select adopt and sign, it's going to put that in. The other option is that you can click draw. If that's the case, you can use your mouse to draw your signature, right? If you're unsure, you hit clear. If you're on your phone, you can draw it right on the screen of your phone. Fantastic way to do it. What I suggest is, unless you're really good with drawing with your mouse, just click on select style, adopt and sign. And now, so first of all, here now you'll see your signature is on there. Up here, it's now taken us. Do we have any errors? I'm going to click next. So here we have an error. Oh, because I put dashes in there, it's not allowing me to, I'll get that fixed, folks. But right now it just gave me an error because I had dashes in there and this is set up only for numbers, right? Click on next there. It's going to take me to if I have any other errors, right? Now this is supposed to be a number again. I will fix that so that not applicable works. But for right now, I'm just going to put 0 and that'll, as long as there's a number in there, it'll work. You'll see the next button is gone. So that means everything else is good. It's all been validated. We're going to click finish. At that point in time, it's going to send us an email notification with copies of all of your documents through our secure server. You'll have the opportunity to download a copy of this, print it off if you want, or close it if you don't need it, right? So at this point in time, I don't need it because I've already sent everything off. I'm going to hit close and we're finished. Anyways, here's just a copy of what it's going to look like, right? Again, I need to stop at a certain point down here, but you'll see your signatures in here, verification, everything else. And underneath, you'll see that there are documents there that can be signed or that we will need in order to do it. Other than that, that's it. As much as this ends up being a bit of a longer video, it walks through everything we need to know and why for getting ready to do your tax returns. Right? Again, you can find that just by going to www.OBS Financial, go to the Tax Registration and Upload Center. The one thing I will point out is if you've done the form on your phone or on your computer and you found it too hard to upload it, or you find extra stuff afterwards, you'll see that you can go to your tax upload and your tax information upload center. By clicking on any of these, it'll give you another form where you can upload documents. We do have a video as to how that works. So if you need to ever send us some additional information, you can go right to our website and send it that way. Other than that, we're going to ask everybody to stay safe, stay 6 feet apart from everybody, and we'll see you next year. Have yourself a great day.